Good evening. Welcome to another jam-packed and spectacular show just for you. This is what's coming up. Entering its 8th edition this year, the Joburg Film Festival returns under the theme Feel the Frame, celebrating bold African and global storytelling. Then we detour as we take a journey to the lush backwaters and rich cultural heart of Kerala, famously known as God's own country. This space captures its spirit through design and atmosphere. Thereafter, we put pen to paper with a newly launched book, The Betrayal Code, as author Puleng Mahape tells all. We also take a short left to explore various accommodation options at Rosemary Hill farm for a staycation that guarantees tranquility and resetting. All this and more right here on Trendz Live, so do stay tuned.
Coming to you live from Auckland Park, Johannesburg on this very feel-good Friday evening. Welcome to Trendz Live on SABC. I'm DC, but you can call me Ned. Listen, it's about to be a good one. It's another installment of lifestyle, travel and culture entertainment, and we're so excited to have you. Please connect with us on our social media. Our handle on X is @Trendz on SABC. So much to do, so little time, but I promise you, we're going to get through it all. We've got a jam-packed show lined up for you this evening, and we cannot wait to give it to you. We kickstart the show with a tour. March observes Human Rights Month in South Africa, and with celebrations on the 21st of March marked by nationwide events aimed at fostering national unity and addressing issues like inequality and injustice, this commemoration is rooted in the events of the 1960s Sharpeville. This was definitely a turning point in our history as a country, and we cannot wait to celebrate. So we thought we're going to take you on a little tour to show you how we were celebrating. Have a look.
March is Human Rights Month, and one of the late iconic South African struggle heroes, Nelson Mandela, fought for the liberation of South Africa, democracy and emancipation. So come with us as we explore the Nelson Mandela Capture Site. The Nelson Mandela Capture Site, located outside Joburg in Kwazulu-Natal, marks the spot where Nelson Mandela was arrested on the 5th of August 1962, ending his 17 months in hiding. He was arrested at a police roadblock and spent 27 years of his life in prison. It features a renowned sculpture by Marco Sianafeli consisting of 50 steel columns that form Tata Mandela's image alongside a visitor center and the Long Walk to Freedom path. Don Laga and Sipogazi were some of the artists who joined us on this small tour. Tour operator Aneta tells us a little more on the site's history.
That car, it's a replica car that Nelson Mandela was in when he was driving here. When the ANC decided to reject their non-violence police, they formed the military wing and they called it Umkhonto weSizwe, or Spear of the Nation in English. And it was launched on 16 December in 1961. Then early in 1962, it's where they appointed Nelson Mandela as the first chief commander of Umkhonto weSizwe.
One of the significant chapters of former President Mandela's journey and story is how he went into hiding. He frequently used false identities and allies during the early 1960s to evade arrest by the South African apartheid government while operating as an underground leader of the African National Congress, which we know today as the ANC.
Nelson Mandela, who was evading arrest. He took this picture when he was on his Africa trip in Morocco, where he was using a false identity calling himself David Mutsamai. It's made with thousands and thousands of beads, and it's made by our local ladies, yes.
Tata dedicated his life to human rights and dismantling South Africa's apartheid system to establish a democratic, multiracial society. As South Africa's first black president, he championed constitutional rights, equality and dignity, Ubuntu, famously stating that denying rights is a challenge to humanity. May the spirit of Ubuntu, dignity, equality and reconciliation spread far and linger on while we continue to fight for a better tomorrow. This piece here shows us that he spent 9,377 days in prison. The Nelson Mandela Capture Site truly is a beautiful place in KZN that tells a bold story of endurance. the Midlands really is a hidden gem.
A hidden gem indeed. Now, onto an escapism with rather unusual but very appealing getaway accommodation options. If you're seeking tranquility and to reconnect with nature's atmosphere, then Rosemary Hill Farm, just outside Pretoria and 50 minutes from Johannesburg, is certainly a place to explore. Here, authentic overnight structures will leave you with no desire to return to the hustle and bustle of the city life. Trendz producer Adidintle Mukeleti explored just a few of these spaces to, replenish her soul. Have a look.
Arriving here presents you with a refreshing aroma of serenity and a good pause from reality. With a history of farm life, this land has been gradually transformed into a yard ideal for any staycation. With a variety of 26 different types of styles, we explored just a few units for your delight. We first set foot at the Sunset Villa.
The Sunset Villa is one of our most unique and most popular accommodation units. When you arrive here, you're first going to see that we played around with some wooden cladding, so it immediately makes you feel at home. The moment you look around you, you see you're in a field of rosemary. You're literally surrounded by rosemary fields, bay leaves, olive trees, and then there's a wooden walkway that leads to a wood-fired hot tub. That's what you see outside. When you walk inside, you're immediately greeted by this double volume space that we created because it used to be a storeroom. It's got a little mezzanine level with a beautiful staircase if there are two extra people joining you. Otherwise, it's a beautiful romantic space for just a getaway. It has a fireplace next to the inside tub and a fireplace next to the lounge area. It's very peaceful and this is a real escape.
Most of the structures are embedded within the lush of greenery, and both architecture and decor is created on the premises. Cabinville, with its cabins and eclectic pods, is a section designed with recycling material. Situated by the dam, this automatically becomes an enchanting and therapeutic place.
So the cabin is the only accommodation unit that is an A-frame, which is a triangular shape, because there was no architectural structure or plan. It was just an old containers that was used and recycled equipment materials to make it a unit that it is today on a frame. What makes the cabin special is that it is a two-sleeper that has a king-sized bed and a standing bath upstairs. Downstairs, you've got your mini KitchenAid, and you also have a sleeper couch that you can use. It is a great space for your peace of mind when you come here because it is quiet during the day. Even at night, you can enjoy your peaceful sunset on your chillnet and just have all your peace and just enjoy to the breeze of the air and the environment in the trees.
Amidst the greenery, we spotted a rectangular structure that resembled a luxurious container with a hot tub in open space.
We are sitting in the Zenkaya. You've got outdoor showers, a swing, so this is very romantic, and this is where you come for some self-love. You can lie in the bed in the morning, you can open up all these windows that you saw now and the sliding doors, and you're surrounded by nature. The architecture of the Zenkaya is very unique because it's a modular unit. A lot of people think it's a container, which is not. It was designed and built as an experiment, so you're not going to find a unit like this anywhere in South Africa. You're not going to see surroundings like this. And this is really just to rest and reset. If it's raining and it's a cold day, you just close the sliding doors and you still have the beautiful view, and it's got aircon inside, and if it's a hot day, you can sit in the hot tub outside.
And while some appreciate private secluded moments, larger groups and families also have their own getaway spaces on the farm.
In the farmhouse, you can bring your family for a weekend to braai with your family, and you can bring your friends for a party. You can have a sip and paint, all the kind of occasions where you can play your music. What's healing about the breakaway is getting away from everything. We often in a busy world where there's so much happening, you need time away to just reconnect with yourself and also reconnect with people closer to you.
So coming to Rosemary Hill Farm is not going to break the bank. You can spend a weekend or a whole week at Rosemary Hill and never leave the farm because we have so much to do here. It is very important to reset once in a while because it gives you the stamina to go forward and just chase your dreams because we get stuck in our reality, which is oftentimes very serious.
Taking a shot left to reset and gain a fresh perspective at a place that your soul draws great energy from. So where is your next road trip leading you to?
I think my next road trip is definitely leading me there. Listen, we're going to take a quick ad break. When we come back, we'll explore the world of film through the Joburg Film Festival. You don't want to miss it. Stick around. Trendz live on SABC. Now, onto a celebratory event that truly places Africa on the map. The recent Joburg Film Festival hosted films at various venues in Johannesburg. The platform unearths outstanding cinema, nurturing young talent, inspiring industry dialogue, and strengthening Africa's position in the global creative ecosystem. Trendz live producer Didi Ntlemokeleti joined filmmakers thrilled to be a part of the event to get a feel of what it's like. Have a look.
It is known as one of the continent's most influential cultural and film events. And in its 8th edition, the Joburg Film Festival stays true to storytelling excellence. Tonight, the stars align and gather in Johannesburg, where films representing 14 countries will be showcased. What a night, what a time for film in this country. Let's get more. Excitedly gracing the red carpet to honor the opening night of the festival. Anticipating a brilliant week at the cinemas, the founder explained this year's theme.
The theme this year is Feel the Frame. We want to showcase the unseen hands behind the frame. And that's why we are celebrating this edition with Feel the Frame, so that you can feel it, but also you can understand how the picture comes to life. How do you bring everyone together? The reality of the matter is that everyone is looking for content made in Africa. We've got authentic, unique stories that have not been told. And therefore it's time for us to be able to monetize and rise above everyone and make sure that everyone watches or consumes content made in Africa.
While attracting more than 10,000 local and international participants, this beacon for African and global cinema merges business and culture into a significant 6-day festival experience. The festival will present the splendor of over 60 curated films of multiple genres.
We started with 770 submissions, and we had to, watch all of them, review all of them, discuss all the films with the creation team, and eventually we were able to reach terms in terms of the 183 films that we've selected for this edition. A lot of the strong themes that came out through the films that we curated this year were themes around migration, themes around family, and interestingly, themes around aging gracefully. So, we have a little bit for everybody. We tried to cater to a really wide audience, and balancing the artistic and the commercial is not an easy thing to do, but I think we did a stellar job in terms of trying to strike that balance. With this edition, we are actually asking the people behind the camera to step in front of the camera so that their work can be celebrated. You hardly ever know who does the makeup on a series. You hardly ever know who does the wardrobe, who does the set. So we're really shining a spotlight on all of those people because ultimately they create what we see on the frame.
From a pool of strong themes, several films engage directly with South Africa's history and thought-provoking narrative. Opening the festival is Laundry Uhlanjululo, a debut feature fresh from its international premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, where it was hailed as thrilling African cinema by Film Fatale.
It is incredibly exciting to be here at the opening night of the Joburg Film Festival, to be screening my film as the opening film, Uhlanjululo. This is a story of events that is inspired by events that happened to my mother's family. My grandfather owned a laundry in Durban. And when the apartheid government came into power, they started to take away the businesses of black people. And so my grandfather lost his laundry. And it feels to me that this story is not my story alone. It's the story of many black people in this country. And I wanted to really showcase that the undoing of black success is something that is deliberate. It's not a matter of people not being able to or not having the capacity. What you will see in this film is that you will see music, you will see family, you will see imperfect, dysfunctional, but recognizable families.
I think it's amazing to be a young person in the film industry today because you get to learn so much. This film in general, it can show us that the systematic injustices was not just a historical fact, it was a lived experience. And now we get to see it in this film from a perspective of ordinary lives. And we get to see that this systematic injustice, it constantly limited people, and it kind of threatened their ordinary lives and their humanity and their passion to pursue their dreams.
More than just a festival, this is a cultural moment that will be remembered in history forever.
It's a cultural moment indeed. Still on film, but now onto a film whose director was determined to change the life of a young man. Born deaf, Ndumiso Nkosi had his dream realized as he finally featured in a film. South African film Review has already premiered in Russia and was selected by the American Black Film Festival in Miami as one of the films that are the new upcoming voices of South African film. Trendz live producer Didintle Mokeleti joined filmmaker Chris Juma and Ndumiso Nkosi to explore breaking boundaries and inclusivity of people who are differently abled through film. Have a look.
What seemed a regular day turns into a dramatic unfolding of events for e-hailing driver Didier. He rescues a deaf mayor's son, fleeing an attempted kidnapping by jumping into his car. This stirs up turmoil. Director Chris Juma was intentional about casting a deaf boy.
The thing about Ndumiso that made him get the role was he had range. When I saw his eyes, I could see so much story there, and he could go into this place of pain and being afraid, and then when he smiles, I just saw a star there as well, and I said, oh, this is an actor. He will be able to take us on a journey, and he's also very good looking, so that made it also easier. The reason why it was important to cast someone who was deaf in the role is because there are people who exist in our society, but they are always on the margins. They never have the spotlight. Deaf Sign Language is a 12th official language, but it's still not yet incorporated in society. So let's use a person from that community to reflect that community.
Communicating with Ndumiso Nkosi deemed challenging as he is deaf, but the zeal to get it right made each day on location a pleasant one. Acting was an opportunity he couldn't resist.
I couldn't say no because I've always dreamed of being famous, and I always tried to do best in my class. My teacher taught me drama and acting. I do feel like it was difficult at some point, but I've made it. So the challenges when I was doing my acting was when I needed to act some things and not sign. But then teacher Nonhlanhla was being incorporated, where she assisted me to understand what was happening, and that's how I understood what I needed to do. One day I would like to do more film, and because the experience I have received from this film was so beautiful, It has made me to be so confident.
A special bond was formed between the actors. They even developed their own sign language and gestures on set.
The relationship me and Ndumiso formed was not that of director-actor, but it was, I was kind of his big brother, and we played. One of my lecturers once upon a time, Jacques de Silva, said, play is a universal language. It doesn't need any interpretation. With a bit of sign language that they taught me, I'd say, do same as me. And then he would just copy. Or I'd say, do you remember? Remember? And then he would say, yes. So by the time he was on set, I didn't want him to be too intimidated by the cameras. I was there, I was like, we together in this, just remember and play.
Seeing himself on the big screen at the Joburg Film Festival was an enthralling moment for Ndumiso.
I feel like the deaf community has never been exposed to these things. And as a deaf person, you don't even hear other things that are being told on TV. You just see the actions and then you just make your own story out of that, the actions that you've seen. But now I'm really feeling confident and I respect more. I've grown and I believe that deaf people should learn how to write so they can be so confident in expressing themselves.
Courage and victory through determination. When creatives are inclusive with their craft, stereotypes are demystified and the marginalized are celebrated.
I have goosebumps just watching that. It's totally incredible. Oh my goodness me. Listen, we're going to take a quick ad break. When we come back, we take you on a journey through literature. You don't want to miss it. Stick around. Welcome back to the show. You're still watching Trendz live on SABC. Now, hidden triggers of an infidelity that have birthed something new. Broadcaster Puleng Mahape has written a book that contributes to the healing we should experience after being betrayed. Trendz live producer Randy Tsubane attended this book launch in Artis and she shares the scoop with us. Have a look.
Turning pain into power. We opened the launch in hymn and scripture. A story of betrayal, courage, forgiveness, lessons, and starting over. Broadcast extraordinary, who is now a first-time author, Puleng Mahape takes us through her recently launched book, The Betrayal Code. This sums up different chapters of infidelity, trust, and the importance of being able to walk away when love and respect are no longer being served.
Betrayal Code stems from life experiences, some of my life experiences, some of the life experiences of people that are very close to me, some of the people that I got to meet. There was a time when I was at an institution where I got to meet men and women who told me their stories about being betrayed. Some were going through divorces, some were separated. And on the basis of, getting to interact with people like those, I gained courage to say, let me just try and write something that people can relate to, that people can, read and get healing from.
As I continue my conversation with Puleng Mahape, we get into some of the effects of betrayal and what infidelity can do to a person.
You lose trust. You lose faith in the opposite sex. You ask yourself, if I'm to, get into this relationship again after I was exposed to being betrayed, will this work? Your trust becomes shaky. You even when you find a good person, you still feel, hey, at any given time, this person can betray me. And it works both ways, by the way, for both women and men.
The Betrayal Code is a non-fiction book that is written from true life scenarios. Magape sums it up for us and emphasizes the importance of self-love as well as self-appreciation.
Sometimes people cheat to boost their egos, not necessarily because there's a reason to cheat. Self-love is very key. If you love yourself to the best of your ability, you'll be in a position to see whether I have attracted a narcissist. When you are in love with yourself, you are most likely to attract a person that would love you because this person already sees that I cannot take a chance.
I got to also chat to some of Magape's loved ones from the launch on this beautiful milestone.
It's been a lovely day. I love the level of organization, that's their excellence. Mepuleng is truly an exceptional person.
This was a beautiful day, really the day that the Lord has made.
Mepuleng is my friend of over 18 years. We met at church. This book has been a dream of her life since.
Working with Puleng demands absolute attention because she is a perfectionist. And if you are to produce something out of her, you need to dig deep, give her a good listen.
I'm really hoping to see how creative Ospuleng is with regards to the addition to the literature space.
And there you have it. The Betrayal Code is finally out. A reminder to us all of the importance of staying rooted in who we are, so when the next person breaks our trust, we are able to move on gracefully without losing ourselves. We can't wait for the next one. Ospuleng Magape, well done.
That looks so fun. Sticking with the theme of literature, recently we caught up with author and broadcaster Mapaseka Mukwele to chat about her new pocketbook, Intimate You. Such a busy woman, so busy that Candy only managed to lock her down for a chat in studio. Have a look.
Now, on to our first interview of the evening, which is all about Intimate You. This is a powerful relationship pocketbook that guides readers towards healthier and more intentional connections, starting with the most important relationship of all, the one with ourselves. The book is written by none other than life and relationship coach Mapaseka Mukwele. This pocket-sized companion invites readers to pause and be honest about the patterns, habits, and beliefs that shape their romantic connections. As we continue to celebrate the month of love, Mrs. Mukwele is here to unpack the teachings behind her book. Hi, Mapaseka, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
It's only a pleasure. But I'm loving this haircut. Like 10 out of 10. But
Thank
obviously,
you,
we're not here just to talk about your beauty, but your beautiful book, Intimate You.
Yes.
It feels like it encourages us, to kind of be honest about, the relationships that we have and reflect on how we engage in those relationships. What made you to take that decision to go with that narrative?
I'm going to take you back to Intimate You, your relationship pocketbook.
Okay.
And the reason why I remind you of that is because I'm hoping that it's going to be a series. So Intimate You will exist, but maybe Intimate You and something else.
So it's about title, category.
Do you see? So one by one. So the reason why I wrote the book, and I thought it was important for me to write the book, most importantly was I always talk about relationships. I love love. I absolutely love love. But I also know that love is nothing without loving yourself. How are you learning to love the next person when you don't know how to love you? How are you expecting the next person to love you when you don't know what love looks like for you? Because remember, how I see love and how you see love are totally different. And there's nothing wrong with either one of us, the way we see love. But I need to know and be aware of what I love and what I appreciate in terms of love, so that I'm able to let you know and communicate that with you.
All right. And it's like it's both of us giving each other, but being honest within ourselves.
There we go.
But do you think that a lot of people kind of like to point fingers at the next person and blame it on them instead of doing some conscious introspection about how they show up in these relationships?
It's the easiest way to do things. It's easier to look outside because that mirror, I call this book a mirror. I always say this is a mirror because that's all I wanted to do with it. Have a book where somebody's able to look at themselves through this. So it's easier for people to say, but you did this to me, but you said I reacted to you. But what led me to react in that way is all about me. You can do whatever you want to do. If you decide to start screaming at me now, how I react is on me, it's not on you.
Taking accountability and taking our power back in these dynamics.
You've got to be accountable for your behavior. So if you do something and I don't like it and I blow up and then I want to blame you, why am I a science experiment? Why am I blowing up with anything that's just dropped inside? It cannot be. I need to be able to control myself. I need to be able to understand myself. But to do that, I've got 4 pillars that I talk about in the book, and they work as a spine throughout of the book, really. And it's choice, honesty, intention, and awareness.
So choice,
honesty, intention. Intention and awareness. I actually had started it from awareness going up, and then I realized, well, I didn't realize, my husband realized when he was interviewing me that it spells cheer. And I thought, that's a nice way to remember it.
That is such a nice way to remember it.
That's a nice way to remember it. So those things are what will determine how you are going to react in situations, right? Are you aware of what your triggers are? Are you aware of who you are? Are you aware of what you like? Are you aware of where you come from, what your background means to you and how it affects you going forward? But are you intentional about where you want to go? Are you intentional about who you want to be? Are you intentional? We talk about, this year, this is my year. This year, this is my year. I'm going to make it big. What are you doing about it?
Are you disciplined enough to get there?
Are you you're saying you're going to make it big, but you're doing nothing different to what you did last year, but you're expecting a different result. How? So that's intention. Honesty looks directly at you. We think honesty is just about telling you, I actually did this and I'm being honest. No. Honesty is about being real with self.
I love how you put that. I feel like a lot of us need to do that in the relationship dynamics that we have.
Yeah.
But I actually want to touch on honesty and like being truthful in a relationship, because a lot of people just rely on love. Can a relationship actually flourish without honesty and trust?
Then it depends on the type of relationship that you're talking about. If you want to have a frivolous, flimsy relationship where no depth,
like if it's any situationship, no.
Go for it. Then a situationship, nothing will hold you back or hold back the situationship, but it's going to end there. If you wanted to go any deeper, you also, in the C, in the cheer, you are also then going to make the choice to say, I want to be here. This is how I want to be. This is who I want to be here. And you're going to make the choice to be in this relationship on a daily. And every time I say that, people say, oh my gosh, you make relationships and marriage sound so difficult. I'm like, no, actually, it's the easiest part. Because once you wake up and you choose this person, and you're intentional about how you choose them, and you're honest about what you can do and what they can do for you, and you're aware of what your background says and what everything says about you, your triggers and everything else, it's so much easier for you to go forward.
Sure, and people forget that it is work, but
yes,
if you want something to be successful, that's all that you have to do.
But everything is work.
Yeah.
If you want to look good, you wake up and you exercise, you eat well, you do this, you do that. That's what you do because you want to look good.
Exactly.
Right? The same thing. You want your relationship to work, you are going to work at it. You want to cook well, you are going to work. Every single thing requires you to actually make an effort.
I feel like you and Abuti was are such a perfect example and a beautiful example of what hard work and pouring into each other can actually do. But there's a few chapters in the book that I want to chat about. I mean, we don't have to get into all the specifics, but there's chapter 2, there's chapter 10, there's chapter 25, and all of them really just are about managing expectations. It's talking about emotional safety. How do we then create that safe space between each other to have these transparent conversations to grow?
Relationships don't end because of a single argument. They end because of a number of arguments, a number of situations that happen that we don't discuss, that we don't talk about, that we brush over, that we put under the carpet, that we hope to never discuss, and we think and we pretend to forget and all of that. But the honesty and the openness to be able to say, this is who I am. And this is how I can handle things. Because it's not everything that you can handle, and that's okay. There should never be an expectation of perfection. We are not perfect. We cannot be perfect. In fact, the time you think you are perfect, you must know that you have a serious problem.
That's where the problem is.
You know that you then have a problem. But understanding that you're not perfect also means then that you understand that you must work on your relationship.
It goes to emotional maturity in a relationship. Exactly. Can you actually unpack that for people at home just to understand? Because there's expectations that we have, but then there's also a way that we need to show up emotionally mature and create that space for each other. How best do we do that as couples?
Point one, are they communicated? These expectations? You know, we sit in relationships and in spaces where we don't explain and we don't share and communicate who we are, what we like, what we hope to get, how we do things, and then you say something and I'm so angry, but you have no clue how it affects me. You have no clue how I deal with things. And even then, when you do something, if you're in a relationship, why are we in a war zone? Why is it that we are sitting there and everything that you say is so bad and I'm fighting back and you're fighting?
You see, I could have this conversation with you all day, and I feel like everybody needs to go pick up this book, and not just for the relationship with the next person, but for one another.
Yes.
But I need to find out from you before you love and leave us. Where can people find the book? You know, give us all the details. I'm sure people at home want to know.
I'll tell you on my website.
Okay.
www.mapasekamokwele.com. That's where you find the book. I can deliver anywhere in the country. So the book is only 200 Rand, hey? And the reason why I self-published is because I wanted it to be reasonable so that we can get the information out. We're not going to close people out because of price. It's not fair. So 200 Rands, you buy the book, and if you're not in, well, in fact, wherever you are, you'll get a delivery fee and we deliver it to your doorstep. You don't even have to move. Takes a day or two and you get your book.
I love the fact that in what you do, it's also giving back to other people, but the teachings and the learnings that we can take from this book.
It's signed.
Thank you so much, Osman Paseka, for being here with us. It's been such an honor. And I really do hope that people have taken these nuggets, but more than anything, are going to go and order this book.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Welcome back to the show. Now, you would be forgiven for thinking that you're somewhere in the south of India when in fact you're in the north of Johannesburg. Empress Palace, to be precise. Trendz Live took a journey to the lush backwaters and rich cultural heart of Kerala, famously known as God's own country. This space captures its spirit through design, atmosphere and storytelling. Here's a closer look at how a slice of southern India has been reimagined locally.
Rooted in the south of India, Kerala is a place where misty hills meet quiet backwaters and tradition shapes everyday life. Known as God's own country, it carries a reputation for natural beauty and deeply layered culture. That distinct character, serene, detailed and spiritually rich, becomes the inspiration behind this space. Here's how those influences have been thoughtfully interpreted far from home by the Taba Group.
Mr. Matthews, the owner, is from Kerala, which is South India. And when he came here, he's actually an engineer by trade, and his real job, he's in logistics. But then he was missing his mother's cooking and decided that he was going to honor her and create Tava 17 years ago. All the decorations on the wall and the color scheme is very much from Kerala. As you say, it doesn't look like a standard Indian restaurant, which is normally very, very strong and very religious and very concentrated on certain things. Kerala, which is also known as God's country, and the reason why it's called God's country is because it's an amalgamation of various religions and various culinary influences and all that type of thing. So that's why you have different, on the walls you have different pictures. Some are semi-religious, some are just specifically from Kerala. All the dishes are family dishes. All the dishes have been tested and practiced over the years, not only by Mr. Matthews' mother, but by his family. So basically everything comes from a family.
Freedman shares how they carefully selected specific elements of Kerala to highlight within the space, carefully providing patrons with an immersive experience.
One day Mr. Matthews told me, he said, how do we get a Michelin star? And I said, the problem is that that's not what we do. That's why there's I think that 3 around the world which have got Michelin stars, because genuine Indian food is family style. It's not nicely, beautiful, decorated, and then it's beautiful, it's well presented, but it's family style. This is what we want people to leave here and go back to their home coming from our home.
As Friedman mentioned, Kerala draws from a variety of culinary influences. General Manager Vibin Vagesh touches on some of the famous Kerala delicacies best enjoyed as an evening snack after work.
That dish that you have seen the chef is making, it's called pani puri, which is very commonly available in the streets of India, especially on the streets of Mumbai, where they make a small crispy puri, where they put small holes inside, fill it with spices and mashed potatoes, onion, tomatoes, served with a spicy sauce, where you have it to pour it inside and have it as it is, like a shooter. So when it comes to those dishes, please don't kill that dish with knife and fork, because we all know to use the knife and fork. So we normally direct the client and make them feel like this is how we should be having it.
From the vibrant colors and intricate textures to the carefully chosen details throughout the space, Kerala's unique spirit truly comes alive right here at Emperor's Palace, giving you a fully immersive experience that transports you straight to the heart of this rich culture.
Truly interesting. Now for a journey to KZN. Symphony by the Water is a major music and lifestyle event that features many South African musical giants. Held in the Midlands in KwaZulu-Natal, Trendz live producer Randy Tsubane took us on a journey out of the province to bring this event to life. Have a look at what went on.
Despite the intermittent rain showers, music lovers gathered in high spirits at Midmar Dam in the Midlands, KwaZulu-Natal for the much-anticipated Symphony by the Water event, proving that nothing can stop the power of great music and a passionate audience. Great jazz legends such as Ubabum Tobisim Talana were also set to kickstart his musical celebration. I started off by chatting to the organizer Njabulo Shangazi on the idea behind this concept.
What we wanted to do is bring hope to our communities and give our communities another experience. You know, our especially black communities, they are always known for violence, drugs, and all of those things, but hardly any positive stuff happening within the communities. And there's one element in society that always seems to bring everyone together, and that is music. And we just thought that, what about we bring classical music and orchestra into our own township and experience them, and also blend our mixture and our vibrant with an orchestra. And I think that's what we wanted to do. But more than anything else was to encourage the high schoolers, the ones that are still teenaging, that are playing with the idea, to give them an opportunity to really feel how it is to share a stage with KZN Philharmonic Orchestra. I mean, they are well-traveled, they are well-recognized, they are one of the greatest in the world.
Renowned South African guitarist, singer and producer Ernie Smith also graced the stage as I caught up with him just before his performance.
I'm really excited about where music is globally. I'm even more excited about where music is in the sense of South Africa. You know, I'm finding more of the youth genre or more making their sound heard with the amapiano and with the Afro pop, and also finding some of the stuff that was formerly tradition, very kind of labeled, very classical and very white, and finding a lot of our people and people of color, people that are Indian black, that are engaging all different kinds of genre. You know, I'm always excited when it's a chance to play home, to play in KwaZulu, even though you thought I was from Joburg. You know, it's always a pleasure to play home, because Mfana Wesekaya, you know, but I will be playing some of the old favorites that people know me for, and some of the new songs, and exactly that, the evolution, you know.
One of the significant initiatives of this event is designed to address social issues while promoting youth and women empowerment through the creative industry. The Deputy Minister of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, Mapaseka Steve Litsike, unpacks this for us on a broader scale.
The ministry in the presidency is responsible for women, youth, and persons with disability. And you can imagine, I mean, we're looking at policy directive, we're looking at coordination, where we can convene all other departments that must service these constituencies. Our constitution is clear in terms of what we need to do around gender equality, women's empowerment, youth development, but also the inclusive aspect of making sure that persons with disability or any other vulnerable groups are not left behind. Are we able to tap on the economy of culture, arts, creative? That's a big economy. So you cannot undervalue it. Music, creative, arts are an economy on its own. And we then have to then say, how do we make sure this economy, one, is not left behind? How do we make sure that it's not exploited? How do we protect the fundamental rights that are guaranteed in the Constitution through policies?
The after party was set to let everyone unwind, mingle and converse on the night that was. Here's to many more years of Symphony by the Water. Hopefully the weather will be kinder to us this time next year.
That's unfortunately all we have time for this evening, but fear not, we'll be back again next week, Friday, 8 p.m. exclusive to SABC News. If you missed the show, don't worry, you can catch up with us on the SABC News YouTube page or on SABC Plus. We are out of here. I'm Netisi, but you can call me there. From myself and the rest of the team, from our hearts to yours. Bye-bye.